Hello and welcome to KennyRoy.com. I'm Kenny Roy. This is the Ask Videomail for the week of August 5th, 2013. Welcome to the site to you new members, and welcome back to the old. The Ask Videomail is your chance to get your question in character animation or performance answered in a video just like this one, but I need your question if I'm going to answer it. So please send your questions to webmaster@kennyroy.com. I go through all the questions and I answer the ones that I think will help the most people. There's no such thing as a stupid question, and it is the best way to get the most out of the site. Man, oh man, goodness gracious me, it has been such a crazy couple of weeks. I have some really exciting, really fun bids put out to clients. I'm really excited and hopeful for the projects that are going to be working on through our Conics this fall. It's really, it's rare that I have so many bids out at the same time that get me excited. So I'm very stoked right now to be in a studio and working on that kind of stuff. As you know, collabs wrapped up on July 19th, and then we took a week. We went to SIGGRAPH, and we were back last week, and I started doing the Little Painter. Little Painter, if you go to the littlepainterfilm.com, you will see the blog that I have started. That is where I'm going to be posting all the public updates for the people who are interested in what's going on with the Little Painter. And the secret backer production blog is prodblog.thelittlepainterfilm.com. So PRODBLOG, prodblog.thelittlepainter.com. Or you can just click on the bottom right. There is a secret production blog link that you can just access through the littlepainterfilm.com. But at any rate, I started putting streams up on the prod blog and little teaser images and stuff like that, and I'm really excited to be working on the Little Painter finally. I know it was a long time in coming, but I've learned from my mistakes. I'm never going to overcommit myself the way I have been the last year about. So we are full steam ahead on Little Painter, and I'm so over the moon excited to be working on it. It's just as exciting as it was a year ago when I did my Kickstarter funding. What an exciting thing to be doing. I've said exciting about 1,000 times, but there's no better word for it, so I'm just going to keep on using it. Exciting, exciting, exciting. There are a few things to do left on the collabs project that we're working on. I have a few more shots to give out, a sequence to kind of complete, and then we have to move on to lighting and rendering. That's an exciting thing as well. Look, exciting. All right, I'm not going to use the word exciting anymore in this Ask Videomail. Anyway, if you are interested in collabs, we are going to be doing another one, guaranteed. It went so well, and we are so impressed with the results, as are people that I'm showing it to. There is definitely going to be another one. Also, as a learning experience, I had amazing feedback from the students, and it just overall was a super, super positive thing. So there will be another one. I am going to update the pitch video on collabs.ourconics.com, but check it out right now if you're interested, and the application is always just going to be up on that main page. After I've updated the pitch video, you can go back and see it and see a little bit of what we worked on, and I think you will be very impressed as well. I'm going to put a few little teaser, just a few little images and movies and just little clips of the animation that we're working on. And I think you'll be stoked. I think you'll be excited. All right, that's the last time I'm going to use the word excited. At any rate, so there's one more thing that I want to talk about. I am looking for your opinion. I posted on the 11 Second Club forum asking if a beginner animation course was needed. If you guys think that there's a need, an opening for a low-cost, very, very, very basic animation course that also covers Maya training for animators. Okay, so basically what this would replace would be all of the searching around that you're doing, all of the beginner tutorials in like Maya generalizing to try to get up to speed to use Maya at a level that you could take the first level or the first course at Animation Mentor or iAnimate or Anim School or any of the other animation schools. All of these schools allow you to test ahead now. So if you can prove that you've gone through these steps of basic animation, then you can skip their course. Plus, whatever you're paying for the Maya instruction, I just thought to myself, why not combine the two and do it in a way that you're familiar with on kennyroy.com. So if you, I'm looking for opinions. I'd just like to know what you guys think. If you have any opinion on the matter and you think that this course would be a good thing to have, and it would just be, you could just, same way as kennyroy.com, you would just get a login, and it would be a different login, but you would just get it and you could just do it and go through at your own pace and get all that information that you need to test out of, you know, the first class at all of these schools. If you think that would be a cool thing, I'd like to know. If you think that market's already way too saturated, Kenny, don't do it. It's a waste of time. No one's going to do it. Then I want to know. I want your honest opinion. So please, please let me know. That would be fantastic. I need you guys. I need you guys. SIGGRAPH is one of those opportunities that I rarely get to actually interface with people, and I get very little feedback. And sometimes when people walk up to me and they start talking to me about kennyroy.com, I jump on them and they freak out. But I tell them, like, oh my gosh, it's so nice to talk to you, because I get you know, a few Ask Videomail questions every single week, but I get 0 emails. I get 1 email a year from somebody telling me like actual feedback on the site. So by the numbers, by how many people are active on the site and how many signups I have and that kind of thing, I can tell that I'm not doing too badly, because, you know, there's still, you know, X number of users, and not very many people cancel, few people join all the time. So must be doing something, you know, right, I guess, but no one ever tells me what, you know, their feedback. So it's really, really, really nice to get some feedback. So if you want to just leave me a note, go to the contact form. Contact me just down here on the left side of the menu. Just click on contact me and send me a hey, hello. Okay? And while you're at it, send me an Ask Videomail question. I would love you for that. Okay? Maybe I should start giving out free time for an Ask Videomail question. One free day on kennyroy.com. Every Ask Videomail question you send in. I'm doing that. That's it. I'm doing that. Starting right now. Every single Ask Videomail question that you send in, you get a free day on kennyroy.com. It doesn't matter if it's stupid. It doesn't matter if it's, you know, hey, how do I animate a bouncing ball? I don't care. Any Ask Videomail question from now on gets 1 free day on kennyroy.com. So if you turn in 30, you get a free month. Boom. You saw it here first. I just had that idea. That's how they come to me. They just bam, 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 bam. All right? Obviously, I'm a little amped up right now. I've had a big thing of coffee. All right, let's get to the question. I think you're going to like it. That's a great question. I love this question because it's a workflow question. It kind of just comes down to deciding how you have to make your process work for you. And I love those kinds of questions. Basically, what I do is I always thumbnail first, and here's why. You want to go into, and if you haven't seen the Mastering Your Reference Video lecture, it's in the store right now, go check it out. Basically, I have a very, very specific workflow for capturing reference video. And and this is, by the way, when I was mentoring at Animation Mentor, the students would always turn in their reference video, and so I had, over the course of my time at Animation Mentor, about 7 years, I had about 500, maybe 550 students, and they all turned in reference video for their 2 or 3 assignments. So we're talking about, I've seen about 1,500 to 2,000 reference videos, okay? And so from that, I whittled it down to the reference video workflow that you see in that lecture. But basically leading up into that, what I didn't mention was, do I thumbnail ideas first or do I do reference video first? And the reason you want to do thumbnails first is because you don't want to use your own body as your inspiration for shots that have a huge dynamic in them. Shots that are maybe a little cartoony, shots that have a wide open, that are completely wide open as far as staging choices. Okay, you want to actually be able to draw inspiration from your thumbnails to try to actually perform up to that standard in your reference video, right? Not the other way around. So for instance, if you have a character that you want to turn around like instantly, right? Well, what that might look like, and the two extreme poses of them, facing this way and then whipping and facing this way, those two extreme poses, those are completely up in the air. And when you're working those, and when you're trying to get that really strong, reversal in the spine, well, what would that look like? Your guess is as good as mine, but once you settle on that amazing thumbnail, you're like, wow, it really does need to look like that. Think about how much more you're going to have to draw from when you go in and you turn the camera on and you're ready to like perform that really super fast, dynamic, snappy turn. Okay? Otherwise, if you record your reference video, and even if you have, like a really quick turn, and that's what you were going for, you weren't thinking of anything in your head when you did that. You weren't really trying to match like this excitement, this energy that you have in a drawing. Then it's time to go to your drawings, and you're looking at your reference video, and you have kind of your lame, crappy body, and these are, really, the amount of control we have over them compared to what we can do in animation is just insane. So like you're just stuck with this, this lame, oldie moldy body that you're supposed to be kind of like drawing and getting poses out of, and it kind of falls flat, right? So the answer is basically very, very, very simply, always, always, always thumbnail your ideas first. All right, but something that this question doesn't ask, and that I want to kind of touch on as well, is that you should also have a phase that is basically refining your thumbnails after you've shot your reference. Okay, because you may find that as you're performing that you take on a certain pose, or you have a certain kind of body language about you that wasn't visible in the thumbnails. Okay, so you can edit your thumbnails based on your video reference. Okay, but don't have no thumbnails going into video reference, and then you're just kind of like stuck drawing everything from that video reference, if that makes sense. A lot of times what video reference does for me is it gives me a lot more of timing choices than it does really posing choices. And I did say this in the video reference lecture, but I wanted to touch on that as well in answering this question. When you're talking about posing, I always say that it's a much better problem to have those super strong poses that you're really like fighting to work together in timing, than the other way around. Than like to have like this timing that is like really very, very, very well worked out, but then you're just like kind of like cruising in and out of really like kind of lame, soupy poses. In the same vein though, the amount of posing that you can get done in the timing, posing and timing are intimately connected. Okay, so the way to kind of like separate them and make sure that you're sourcing different energy, and you're sourcing what can give you the most for each one of those tasks. That's why I kind of use video reference for timing more than posing, especially for cartoony stuff. All right, which is even more support for the idea that you should be thumbnailing before you do your video reference. Okay, for instance, on cartoony shots, on pretty much every single cartoony shot that I've animated for you guys here on KennyRoy.com, I've done my video reference has been maybe like a few very quick things in my body. And then maybe just a sound effects track, like the groggy shot where he runs away from the spider is like bling, 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 right? That was the sound effects track, right? So that was all the video reference that I really needed. I had a little bit of slow motion footage that was shot of a rubber band being shot out. I had some slow motion footage of people running on treadmills. I had some slow motion footage of water balloons, when he splats. I had a lot of reference for that I was going to gather and sort of assemble for posing. And those things really were all posing. Like for instance, a rubber band. This very distinct nature of a rubber band being released that I think really gives it that feeling of being a rubber band is that when you release it, it stays hooked on right here on the thumb until it basically, the back kind of catches up with it, right? Until it's not stretched anymore. So that's why my character, when he's sort of stretching and kicking his legs, and then he lets go, his butt rotates and takes his torso with it. All right, so it actually kind of gives that rubber band impression. All right, I basically got that from the reference. So I had plenty of reference. How could you do that in your body? How could you do that in your body? You never could, never could. Okay, so I had everything that I needed from that video. And then the reference that I shot, well, that was after my thumbnails. Okay, so we want to really quickly bring up the thumbnails so you can see them. Okay, all right, so here are my thumbnails. Okay, and very, 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 very basic drawings of the character. I like to make sure that I draw the character in proportion. These aren't quite on the money, but I am very, very concerned with volume. So I really tried to make sure that we got the good volume. So anyway, he's sitting here. He gets scared by the spider. It's over here. He pops up in the air, right? And then he starts running. And so I have a little, drawing of the little shadow on the ground showing that he's contacting the ground. And he slips. Big reversal. See this? Like, I mean, if you were trying to do this, if you're trying to shoot this like as video reference, that's hysterical. Can you imagine like jumping in the air and like trying to arch your back like that? And can you imagine from video reference of you actually in air, what would it look like, right? You'd probably, the most you'd ever be able to bend your spine is like that, right? And even if you put your legs up in the air, they might look like this. And you reach your arms out. Your arms would probably be a lot straighter, than this guy's would. So you have your torso and your stupid pants on, right? That's what it would look like. So can you imagine drawing that thumbnail? Well, I just did. Drawing this thumbnail from your video reference and missing the opportunity to get, this super, super pushed, inspiring, like nasty arc in that back, and then boom, look at that reversal, slam right on the ground. I even did these little lines, like boom, that's where he lands. All right, he pops up off the ground in the same pose, right there. That's what that was trying to distinguish. You also, in video reference, you couldn't bounce off the ground. Okay, and then in air, he starts stretching. Look at this stretch in the spine. The butt catches up, passes the torso, and then flies out. Okay, so that's why we, in just a few drawings, basically what I was able to do was able to take the ultimate, the most push version of what I had in my head, and really, really, really get it on paper and have it there for inspiration. Okay, and then he only had like one little run in my thumbnails. In the real shot, he actually runs 3 times, right? That's something that kind of just like came out in video reference, right? So performing it in the moment, performing it really, really gives you some great ideas. So you have to do the reference, but bring those thumbnails into it with you. Have that super pushed idea, that really taken to 11 extreme to bring you the best result at all times is the idea. So this was really fun. What a great question. I'm really excited to answer questions like these. Straight up workflow questions are a lot of fun. So that will do it for this week. Please send in your questions. Remember, you get a free day every question you send in from now on. This is going to be exciting. We'll see how many people take advantage of this. The address to send them to is always webmaster@kennyroy.com. I look forward to reading more questions from you guys. Hope you're having a great time. Wish me luck on Little Painter. I need it. littlepainterfilm.com or littlepainterfilm.com. That's the one. All right. Good luck with your animation. As always, rock on.